Hello. I don't know you guys gonna like. Okay, I think that's good. I just went downstairs to get a bowl of salad. I want to talk about something that has been on my nerves. I'm still like in a hospital. See, that's my back right in the back. So I just came out from the cafeteria to eat a bowl of salad. And I'm still in the hospital in the NICU. I've been 1 month. Now Queen will be discharged next month. You know? Like something that has been on my nerve. Like people just be pissing you off for no reason. Like I already told you guys, like I'm stranded here in the hospital while I actually like have family here in Texas. I have so-called family. I'm not even gonna say family, you know. Cause my mom is in back home in Africa. My dad is back home in Africa. My siblings are in Africa. But you have like friends and family that are here in America. In Texas, I will not even think of like being stranded. I'm stranded in Texas. And I have relatives. I have families here in Texas. I call one of my cousins who live in Texas. She's married. I can't even sleep on a couch. I can sleep on the floor. I can't even sleep at your doorstep if you want me to sleep. And she said there's no space in her house for me. If you have 4 people living in your house, call another family member. He just tell me to go to the shelter. Officer went to the shelter turned me down. That's why I'm stuck in the hospital. I'm in the hospital. I'm not even like I have no proper bath. There's no way you can take a proper bath in the hospital. Since I gave birth, I think I've taken shower twice or 3 times. But a hospital will always be a hospital, you understand? It's just like you wanna get out. This is a hospital. It's not a place anybody will wanna make their home. You understand? Because Queen is here. That's why they just allow me to stay till she is discharged. Nobody wanna make a hospital their house. Or nobody wanna make a hospital their home. Nobody gonna be comfortable staying in a hospital. Each time you come to the hospital, you wanna get out. Nobody likes to be in a hospital. It's for sick people. And I don't even do hospital. I don't do hospital. I've been here for 10 years. I have no medical insurance. I tell you, I'm obsessed with healthy living. I'm so obsessed with taking care of myself. Like, I just ate salad. Since I gave birth, it's only salad bowl I've been eating. Since I gave birth, 1 month now, I eat just salad. So, I'm just obsessed with eating healthy so that I don't get sick. That's one thing with me. I'm just obsessed of putting the right thing on my stomach. I'm just obsessed of eating healthy so I don't get sick or I don't end up in a hospital. So I've been 10 years in America and I've never gone to no hospital. I've done no checkup. It's just now that I started getting pregnant. And when it's time for delivery, I have to go to the hospital. And if there's way I can pop my baby in the house, I'll just pop the baby in the house. But if there's no way I can pop the baby in the house, and that's why I'm rushed to the hospital. So I'm just saying, nobody want to make a hospital their house. Hospital is for sick people. You come to the hospital because you're sick, and when you come, you want to get out fast. Nobody likes to be in a hospital. And staying in a hospital for over a month is very irritating. And they're having some friends that have promised you how they want you to stay with them, or they're gonna help you. Then when things turn nasty, you rush to them, you turn it the other way. They start saying, oh, they cannot help you. Oh, my mom won't let you stay with me. Oh, I cannot help you. But these are the same people that tell you, oh, you can come stay with me. You can live with me. I'm gonna rent you an apartment. You stay with me and the baby. Oh, this and that. And then now you need help. They tell you no. Why are people this complicated? Hmm? Why do you first promise somebody that you can stay with me, with the baby, and now, oh, you cannot stay with me? And then they're using other excuses. We're talking about ID card. Why I'm in the hospital. That's not important. Even my ID has expired. I'm in the hospital. I just gave birth. I don't think somebody's gonna arrest me because my ID has expired. And if I get arrested, I'm so happy that I'll be arrested and sent home. I don't think in normal sense a police officer or anybody come and be arresting you that your ID is in a hospital that you just gave birth. They're gonna give you some time, at least from 6 months to 1 year, right? When your ID get expired, they don't just arrest you like that because it takes process to be renewed. It's gonna take you 6 months to 1 year to renew that. Nobody gonna come after you because that has been expired just 2 days ago. Maybe after 6 months to 1 year, you haven't renewed it. Then they might come for you, right? And then you just giving birth to a baby, a premature baby. Somebody's talking about ID. Why they don't even know if you actually have a clean bath this morning in the hospital? Stinky and smelling. They don't even know if you ate or even sleep well, or your baby woke up soundly. Just like, I need to make a video because I am so mad of this stupidity, of this bullshit. Like, it just need to stop. We talk about hospitality. Hospitality is taking somebody in. What is my major issue? I'm stranded. I got evicted. I don't have a place to stay. That's my top issue. It has nothing to do with my ID. It has nothing to do with my ID. What's your problem? What's your top shit? You are stranded. I gave birth. You got evicted. There's no place to stay. That's my top problem. I have nowhere to go. And I've gone to shelters. We've called shelters right from the hospital. We have resource people calling from the hospital. And the shelter say they won't take newborn babies. So now I think I'm gonna stick for my own self and I leave the baby. Because you're saying that shelter won't take newborn babies. So I'm just like, am I gonna stick to myself and go to the shelter and the dad come and take the baby because the shelter won't allow newborn babies? So shelter even turn out when calling. So the people trying to help me, or the family members or the so-called friends out there trying to help me, I'm like, you guys doing nothing. Because the same thing that happened in New York, and my passport is still in New York. A stranger has my passport in New York, and it's been 3 years that a stranger took my passport and kept it. How can you take somebody's passport and keep it for 3 years? A stranger. My family been calling left and right. Canada, brother calling, claiming they want to help me pay flight to go home. For 3 years, that I've been crying that I want to go home. 3 years, I've been crying. And a stranger took my passport, calling my family that they're going to put me on a flight and they're going to pay my flight. Still no help. Do you understand my anger? And As I'm talking to you, my passport is not with me. If I have to fly now, I have to make a new passport, or I have to do a traveler document, or I have to go back to New York to look for that man and get my passport. Do you see my anger? And then they come in again with some ID because my green card expired 2 days ago, you know. They come in again with some ID. I should give my only green card ID to somebody to go photocopy after my passport is with a total stranger in New York. 3 years that they promised me to send me home. 3 years. The stranger was calling my family. We're gonna see you put your flight. It's been 3 years I've been crying to go home. So I'm like, that's not my priority. When you talk about that, you make me angry. That's not my priority. That's not hospitality. So I might sleep here in the hospital and I die. I'm still healing from my C-section. I'm just sitting there talking about ID card. That's something I really don't care. If you know by now that she really don't care about that. Because why? She want to leave because she want to go home. You should know by now that she really don't care about that. That's the last thing you should talk about stuff like that to that kind of person. You're just like, you know what? She really don't care about that, especially when she want to go home. What she be talking about is like, did you sleep well? Did the baby sleep well? Did you breathe? My child is struggling for bread. I'm struggling for bread. I can't even poop because I have a C-section. Somebody will take off their phone and be talking about ID card. Like, do you really see me like I care? Just look at me. Do you think I care? That's the last thing in my mind. I don't care. Let's talk about that in 6 to 1 year, because that's when people might be like, okay, it's time for you to renew that. Not now. It just get expired 2 days and nobody come and hijack me. And if they do, hallelujah, because I'm happy. That's what I want. Do you understand? I cannot even poop from a C-section. And you take your phone, you take your time, you type, and be talking about ID. You be talking about green card. What does that got to do with me? Nobody's even calling and say, how is the baby doing? Is she breathing well? Is she even drinking milk? My child is struggling to drink milk. She's not even taking a bottle. She's still being fed on that tube. She can't even drink milk. God, there was a drum. Like, there was drinking, like, but right now she's still sleeping. She's not really active. She's drinking a bottle, but she can't really drink a bottle. She's still being fed like that. And nobody will call me and ask me about my child. I'm in the hospital. Nobody is calling me and asking me, is she drinking milk? Talking about ID. What does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with me? Especially when I know I want to leave or I want to go home. You talk about nonsense that can be discussed in 6 months or 1 year time, and something that somebody say this is an emergency. You're dealing with something that has to be done in 6 to 1 year time, and with something that is an emergency. Me now a place that is an emergency, and you don't want to talk about it. You want to talk about something that can be done in 6 to 1 year time. 6 to 1 year time. You're talking about something that can be done later. That is gonna process a long way. I might sleep here. I don't even get up. I have a major C-section, major operation. People don't make it. I'm still healing. It doesn't mean I've been here for 1 month after C-section. I'm fine. I might just die from the C-section because it's too complicated. I can't even eat. And you sit down and want to talk about nonsense. Is that hospitality when someone in the hospital? I've not even eaten. No food. I'm not supposed to eat, but at least I eat salad. I drink juice. I'm making a video.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
At least I drink juice. You know, I drink juice. I eat salad. That's the only thing I can do. Drink juice and eat salad. But say I need to eat, right? To heal. I cannot just sit like that. I can't even eat. And I cannot poop. It's a struggle for me to poop. So it's just really annoying. It's very, very irritating, very annoying. And somebody was just writing me today in WhatsApp, and it got me all emotional, all worked up, all mad. And I'm like, this gotta stop. If you don't want to help me, just shut up. At least call and pray. Maybe talk about Jesus Christ. Maybe say pray. Oh, But I don't want nobody telling me about some ID. Because that's the last thing I want to hear when I'm in the hospital. Till I get a place, till I have a place to stay, then we can talk about that. But not when somebody's in a sick bed from a C-section trying to heal. The baby is there trying to survive. You talking about something that can be talked about 6 months to 1 year time than something that is an emergency. You dodging the real issue. You dodge the real issue. What is her issue? A place to stay. You don't want to talk about that, then don't talk about nothing to me. Why you want to dodge the real issue? You dodging the real issue and then you're talking about useless stuff. Is that what she complained to you about, Heidi? I did not complain to you about Heidi, so why are you talking about it? Is that what she came to you for? Is that what she complained to you about? If I complain to you about Heidi, then we'll talk about Heidi. But then I'll complain to nobody about Heidi, so don't talk about Heidi to me. I told you I gave birth and I've been to shelter. If the shelter could have even taken me, then at least I have a place to stay. But the shelter hasn't been taking me, So if you don't want to take me in your house, if you don't want me, then don't talk about other things I did not ask you to. Don't talk about no ID. It just got expired 2 days ago. I don't think anybody will come here and be holding me or arresting me that, oh, your ID just got. Nobody gonna do that to come in the hospital, except they are not in their right senses. Maybe after 6 months or 1 year, they might come. They give you time. That's not my emergency. And if that's my emergency, I really don't care, because you're talking to somebody that want to go home. Do you understand? So I really got pissed or irritated because I'm having family member calling left and right from Canada, friends calling here in Texas that they claim they wanted to take me in, but now they switch the topic. They trying to switch the topic. Oh, why are you in the hospital? Let's do. What am I doing in the hospital? You guys know I've been discharged. I only had like 1 week to stay in this hospital when I gave birth, but I spent extra 3 weeks. You want to switch the topic. Did I ask you for that? I didn't ask you for that. I asked for this, and if you don't want to help me, don't switch no topic. Because for me, the rest of the thing can wait till I get out. I got really angry. I got really irritated. I'm like, you guys are so annoying. It's just unbelievable. I might not even survive my C-section. My baby might not even survive this because she's prematurely born. She's 7 months. I've given birth twice this year. I gave birth first in February, and now I gave birth in October. So I have carried 2 pregnancies in 1 year. In this year, 2021, it was a hard year for me, and I have cried out that I got evicted. I'm not even a public person. I'm very private. I've gone through a lot of stuff here in America that So many stories I could have shared in Boston. So many stories I could have shared in Maryland. They all got lost because I was private. I didn't want to share my life. I didn't want to share my story. And then people were blaming me. Oh, she's very private. Oh, she's quiet. She doesn't come to nobody. Family members tell you she's very private. She doesn't go to nobody. She keeps to herself. And then I open up a YouTube. I open up in public. And then I cried in public. Family members seeing you, friends seeing you, still not helping you. So you see the world we live in. After you being private, closing up to so many people, now you decide to be public, to open up and cry to the whole world, still no help coming in. And I ask myself, what kind of world is this? I have a lot of story to tell when I was in Boston because I stayed there my longest. I stayed there for 5 years. I had a lot of story because I was homeless there. I was homeless 2 times. I was homeless 2 times. I was homeless in 2016. I literally live on the street in Boston in 2016. And I was homeless again in 2018. I moved to the shelter. But literally living on the street because I was so confused. I didn't even understand what kind of thing is this in America. Because in Africa, there's nothing like homelessness. It's only in America I'm seeing people living on the street homeless. There's no way you can be homeless in Africa, you know. So I closed all of that I could have shared because I was so private. I was so ashamed to talk about it. I was like, this is untalkable. You cannot share this kind of thing. This is unbelievable. This is a shameful thing. I just hide myself for 5 years in Boston. I'm like, there's no way I can talk about this. And then I moved to Texas. Almost the same thing happening to me. I'm like, okay, you gotta open a YouTube. You gotta start sharing your story. You gotta open up to the public. And I open up to the public. I open up to family. I open up to friends. Still no help. And then when you ask for help, they wanna divert it to something that they will not even help you. I just told you my passport is still in New York with a stranger as I'm talking to you. Somebody important document, like you, something you cannot even travel out of the country without having. Do you understand? I just told you my passport is in New York with a total stranger. Like that means there's no way I can even travel without my passport. Total stranger in New York. I didn't even want to give it to him because I really trusted him. He helped me a lot whilst in New York for 6 months. Because he was like serious, we're gonna send you out, and he was communicating with my aunt in Canada, communicating with my brother. So he was like, if anything I can do is for you to pay your flight home. And you know what? That passport is still in New York. My passport is in New York with a stranger, and they're still saying the same shit about ID, my green card. So now I should take my green card and give it to you again. You keep it. That's the only document I have now. Is that what I asked you for? Is that what I asked you for? Document. Did I ask you for any document? If America don't want me, they'll just take me and put me on a free flight. Easy. I don't have to pay no flight. Of which that's what I want. Like if they're tired of me or they don't want me, right? They'll just come take me and put me on a free flight. Of which I'm not gonna bother paying a flight. Of which that's what I want. So that's not my concern right now. Don't divert anything. Don't talk about bullshit I don't want to hear. Don't do that. I'm just sick and tired of my family. I'm sick and tired of my friends. I'm sick and tired of everyone. They don't want to help you. They divert it to something else. that they will definitely not even do it, because that's a proof. The other one in New York, I already told you, passport is laying there in New York with a total stranger. If I have to fly, then I have to go first in New York to get my passport before I can do anything. If I have my passport, is not even with me, and he's not even trying to find me. 2 years thinking he's gonna try to find me, try to call me. He's not doing none of that. Then you think I can trust you with all those bullshit? Talking about give me a photocopy of your this, let me do it. I can't trust you with my information. And I didn't ask you for that. Just like all this water need to. I'll just keep sharing my story. Just keep sharing. Like, I'm not even that kind of person. I'm somebody like private. I'm not even gonna like share none of Boston. There was so much for me to share was in Boston. But I didn't, because I was so close up. I'm just like, I'm private. I was homeless twice in Boston. 2016 was my worst year ever. 2016. I spent one whole year on the street. Didn't even know what to do because I'm from Africa. Didn't know nothing. I didn't even know anything called shelter. That if you're homeless, you have to go to the shelter. I didn't know none of that. So I was just roaming the street for 1 year in Boston. Did not even know nothing like you have to go to the shelter. I just frustrated on the street in Boston. He hit me again 2018, the same thing. Before some police officer came and told me you have to go to the shelter, and they took me to the shelter. It seems like the same thing happening to me here in Texas. You know, I'm just like, at this point, I'm gonna just go to immigration and ask for deportation. Oh Lord. Next.